I made in the last few years over $365,000 in music production. And that number blows my mind. Like when I actually figure it out and understand that music production has got me to a dream scenario as a career. In this video, I'm going to run through exactly like how I did it, but more importantly, I want to talk about how music producers as a service-based business, how we're all failing artists out there in so many different ways. And in short, I want to work with more music producers in a community and create all the templates, all the guidelines, everything that producers need to know to get to the same point. And I think producers that I can get to that same point will triple, quadruple, 5x, 10x the amount that I can make. Because I'm also running a music agency, a creative music agency that's turning over 6 figures a year. And my role in that is still music production. So if I can do this as somebody that I genuinely don't think I'm an amazing music producer at all, but what I really feel like I understand is artists and artists' needs and what artists want. And I've invested a lot in mentors over the year to get me to that point, I guess, to get me to the point where I do actually feel very confident in teaching other people how to do this as well. So my first milestone was 1,200 per track. That's in British pounds. So that's what, 1,500, 1,600 US dollars, and more like, trying to do Australian in my head, more like, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's going to be probably double, near a double, isn't it? So anyway, you can do the maths. £1,200 on music production was the point where I was getting 4 to 6 every single month. This was a few years ago. Every single month, consistently. I loved it. And now I'm double that price for music production. And I really stand by the prices that I charge as well. And people keep coming back. I've just had another artist I'll show you very soon. I want to switch to this screen as to why to listen to me. And I'm going to go through a few testimonials and just show them that this is real. We had a studio in the artist this week, 2 days ago, and she's doing her fifth song. She's doing her fifth song now. So we just the vocals on that track, and she's an up and coming artist. She's starting to get momentum in terms of streams, but it's all relatively small. But what she really appreciates is the service, and it made me remember. It made me realize being a music producer is a service-based business. It's all about how do we deliver a service that people are happy to invest in, and how do we support them build their careers so that they keep coming back. Not everybody wants to make an investment in music and has to make the money back as well. That's a really important thing to remember. People can happily and very joyfully make some music because it's just a dream of theirs. There's a guy called Alfie that I worked with. He's a coffee content creator. His main dream isn't to be an artist and make music, but he always had a dream to make music. He enjoyed that process so much that we've done 4 songs together now, and he's gone to other producers and he's now saving up to come back to work with me because the process was so fun. So I want to share exactly how to do it. And I genuinely believe there's a lot of producers out there that are incredible, but do get stuck up a little bit on the sales, a little bit on maybe like the processes. I want to give you the templates in order to do exactly what I did, and I honestly think as together as a community, we'll be able to move the needle even further forwards. At the end of this video, I'm gonna share a link with you that will get us onto a call, and it's just to say hi and figure this out together, because I want to launch this course to a point where there's 100 people in this community that has access to this course on an annual basis. So this isn't just like a few months, get you to the place and see you later. This is like, how do we grow to your first goal? How do we grow to your next goal? And then to like the dream goal you never imagined, where you're buying your family cars and you're getting your dream house and all the rest of it. Let's get stuck into it, because I'm going to get too excited and talk about too much. But at the end of this video, stick around, because the first 5 people that get to the end of this video, I am going to offer you a ridiculous scenario where we can get on a call and figure it out together as to how the first 5 people can get the most value and I guess ultimately build it together. So stick around for that. So this is my first YouTube video in this new format. If you've seen any of my older videos, I had a music studio in a bus and I was traveling around and doing daily vlogs and various other things. That was a really fun chapter in my life, but a lot has changed since I posted on this channel properly, like consistently. So if you are a music producer, if you are maybe even an artist watching this and you're just trying to find a good music producer, send this to your music producer. Send this to people you know that you think will benefit from this. Because this is going to be a pretty new format to me on YouTube. And it's all going to be about helping music producers essentially just make loads more money, build a career, and work with more serious artists that actually really care. They're not just going to mess you around and how to find those people. So why listen to me? That is probably a very valid, justified question. So I genuinely think, hang on, how do I get this pen tool? Oh, this is going well. Okay, so I built a 6-figure creative business. This was in the bus. This is the visual you can see here. I'll talk about that in a second. Create a 6-figure business without selling out or burning out. I never sold beats. I never did the whole like $20 beat sale thing and tried to sell hundreds over and over again. I think that's a terrible model. I think too many people are spending too much time on this when you can actually get really sick artists, give them a really good experience, and they'll just keep coming back to you. And we're talking like, I was getting at the start even like 11 grand record deals, just me and the artist, to produce like 7, 8, 9 tracks. It wasn't even long albums. This was like my starting point. So I want to get you there. So I generated enough money to buy the bus through my music production, build the studio, traveled around Europe 3 times producing music. I experienced all the struggles firsthand, you know, how to start a business, how to start a music production business. What does it look like? Do I have to be in person? Do I not want to be in person? Do I want to do it all online, which you can do nowadays? My studio, by the way, is literally on this desk, and I have awesome... Oh, are they going to stretch? I have awesome speakers and setups that I've collected around the world. The speakers were handmade in Bali. They're a travel setup with a bag. Like I have my whole studio is no longer in a bus. It's now in my suitcase. That's how good what I'm about to teach you is, because it allows me to travel the world doing all of these things. From music production, it's the dream. It's really the dream. So yeah, I experienced those struggles firsthand, from undercharging to over-delivering, being creatively drained, built systems that gave me the monthly sustainable income as well. Sorry, I'm not underlining these very well, but hopefully you can see them before I'm removing them from your vision. I was able to actually like forecast my income for entire years. I was building like BNPL systems, buy now, pay later models that was allowing me to like actually forecast what my next 6 months looked like. And that allowed me to be more confident in the way I was buying things or spending my money or like my life, or just mental clarity, mental health on like, I know what I'm earning this month. That meant a lot to me. I've coached producers. I have worked with some artists as well. Well, loads of artists, sorry, but I've worked with some producers already doing, that's kind of how we've got to this point. Because they were saying they wanted me to, like, why shouldn't I just give this out more? That's kind of why I'm starting this YouTube channel again. Into building sustainable income. That's a big word. A big, important word for me here. Low stress careers and real impact. So I was looking into getting some testimonials, and I was thinking, oh, I'll get it from the producers. But actually, from the artists makes more sense, because if what I teach in this is legitimate, if what I teach you on this channel is actually working, then surely it's the artists that should be having their say, because it's all very well like a producer being really happy with me teaching them certain things, but if all the artists are unhappy, it's not going to last very long. So there are some lovely testimonials there. And who do we help? Well, specifically on this channel, I'm focusing exclusively on music producers. And I never thought that would be the case, because essentially all music producers are competition taking away work from music producers. No, if I'm teaching you guys how to get all the artists, then what artists are left for me? Well, let's be real. There's way more artists in the world than there are music producers. And there's even more artists in the world that are looking for good music producers. So your chances are pretty high of finding people. it's pretty high of finding artists that have had a bad experience and you just making their lives better. Specifically music producers who want to finally monetize their skills without relying on content or clout. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but when I say finally monetize, some of you watching this won't yet be monetizing your music production in a way that quite honestly feels consistent so that you can call it a career. You might have side jobs, you might have other things going on. I talk about this down here. Like anyone struggling with juggling passion projects, low paying clients, working a job or multiple jobs to pay for your life, and anyone who is unclear of the next steps and feel like they've hit a wall. You might be earning already 50k a year on your music production. You want to get to 100. And I really feel like, I mean, if you're already doing that, then the price that I want to eventually get this community up to, this course up to, that I really believe has the value, I want to get this up to a point where I'm just charging you for a whole year's worth of help with me. Like, we'll build your journey together. I just want to charge you one song's worth. And if I can get you to pay, if I can get you the value and give you the value to set up yourself as a music producer business, like strongly, and I just charge you one song, like, imagine the profit you then make off that education when you have 20 songs a year, 50 songs a year, 100 songs a year. I just want to charge you the price of one song. So if you're at the 50k mark, I mean, let's work together now. In fact, maybe I shouldn't give you the deal because the value that you get when you know this knowledge can just continue for the rest of your life. I've been doing this exact structure for 5 years, must be 5 years. And the first year really is just getting going. First year, I think it took me a year to get to a point where I tried to figure all this stuff out, made loads of mistakes, did it well, did it badly, and got to a point where I was finally then charging 1,200 like consistently. So I'm hoping to fast track you to get to that point within like a month, 2 months, however long it takes for you to dedicate your time to go through the videos that I'm going to be making for this course. So, and I'm going to be constantly adding to this as well. That's the beauty of the annual, is that as we learn, this is a course that kind of grows with all the problems that happen, and as the world changes, you know, the digital space is changing. I'm always keeping an eye on it. Comments that will be in the community, like we can speak about them together, figure it out, and then I can turn that into like a proper piece of education. And a lot of you will have already course hopped many times and you're ready just for some straight talking systems that work. I will, hands up, point out all the things that are wrong with your current way of doing things, and they may not be wrong, but they maybe need tweaking, changing. Like, we can figure all that stuff out together. If you're doing something that is just like clearly, in my experience, turning artists off, I'll just tell you. We'll be really straight. We'll get straight to it in a very friendly way, of course, but we'll get straight to it. I want to get you guys to the point where music production, where you're just making endless amounts of money. Like, the limit, the sky is the limit for how much you want to be producing and what your creative energy is like in a month. So, who is this not for? Hobbyists. Don't want to work with hobbyists. Don't want to work with anybody that isn't serious. That was a really bad line. Sorry. Isn't serious about building a real business as well. You've got to enjoy and have the desire to build a career for yourself for this to work and for the things I'm going to show you to work. Creatives looking for overnight success. Boo. We don't want any of that. Things take time and things will evolve. You know, brands, businesses, companies, they evolve over time. They evolve with the times, and we need to figure that stuff out together. Everyone's going to approach things slightly differently because everyone's going to have you're all going to have your own niche. You're going to have your own niche of artists as well. And also your own tools that you like using, your own systems that you like using. But if you just want to copy exactly what I do, I mean, it's the easiest way to start making cash. There's no magic social media hacks as well. In fact, in this course, we didn't touch on this content or clout. I barely make any content at all. In fact, I can't remember the last time I did make any content that was trying to sell to any artists or musicians. I just don't think you need to do it. I think you need enough content online so that people can see who you are, what you're about, what you do, maybe hear some other music that you've made. But in theory, you could also just do this faceless. I think having some content and not being completely faceless obviously breaks the ice with a lot of artists that are maybe nervous to work with people. But it's not essential. You don't need to. In fact, I'd say voice is probably better. Christina is an artist I've worked with on loads of things. We've even worked on title sequences for an Amazon show, Loving Elvis, or in America, Elvis's Women. Like, that was an official Amazon documentary. She was an artist, a paying artist. We've worked on stuff together where we've had even more cash coming in for both of us. And that whole conversation started, cash coming in for both of us by doing like projects together, like Amazon, etc. Like, the relationship has grown, is what I'm trying to say. And that started just from some voice calls. It was all voice. We didn't even see each other. We just saw pictures, I guess, on socials. So you really don't need to just be making content all the time. Anyone willing to take action or show up for themselves. That's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to touch into some of these bits on a different video, but I do want to talk about some of these things that are included in what I want to teach, because you came here to watch a video of like exactly how I do things, and a lot of exactly how I do things is these things that I'm going to include. So step by, and if you're interested, please comment down below on like a specific one of these things that I can give you a glance into on YouTube. I want to be giving you guys loads of value here on this YouTube channel. And the beauty of then coming into the community is that we will then do things really bespoke for you and help you. Like, you'll get the templates, you'll get the access to how to set everything up, and I'll do that with you. And, you know, all of that is the community side, whereas, you know, showing you exactly what to do or how I'm doing it is what I want to do here on YouTube. So step-by-step guides for marketing. We just talked about not having to do much marketing in terms of like media and content, but there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can still market yourself and get yourself out there. And this can literally just be as simple as a website. This can literally be as simple as TikTok if you want to do videos, or it can be Instagram if you just want to do visuals and images. There's so many different ways you can just put yourself out into the world. It could even just be now through Spotify. You can do videos and different types of content through Spotify in certain countries. Free CRM page and templates. Like, this side is so much more important than I ever believed at the beginning. CRM it's when you have all of your contacts in one place, so that when you have reached out to somebody, when you are speaking with somebody, you know where they're at in the process of their career, but also in the process of being useful to you in your career as well. And that's a place that we can store all of that information and work on it. To nurture these relationships, you know, and some of you might feel uncomfortable with that. That's the reality. Some people might feel uncomfortable with the idea of having systems in place that will track your relationship with somebody else. But ultimately, that is what business is about. They may become friends at some point, but ultimately, you have to see these people as clients. And knowing where a client is at in their journey, these are the mindset shifts that we need to make in terms of thinking, I'm a service-based business. I also need to communicate very clearly with these artists that are out there. And I did it through CRM and Notion templates, which I'm going to share with you. You can have the exact ones that I did, that I used and use still now. Artist discovery workflows. This is kind of the outreach side. This is kind of like what it looks like to find artists, how you can do this in a way that is really specific to you and where you spend most of your time. It's really important to think about where you spend your time currently, enjoying artists, or not just enjoying artists in terms of their songs, but like their content and where are you spending time seeing artists out in the world. Could also be gig venues. It could be live music. It could be anything. But that workflow really got me moving in terms of opening up the right conversations. And I think in this as well is, you know, the sheets that I've got that help you find your niche, help you find your perfect avatar. Avatar is like, who's your perfect person to work with, and figuring all of that out as well. messaging templates, how to speak to those people, sales training. This was a huge step for me, like knowing how to even handle a call to get somebody over the line and say yes. When I hit a certain point, and that's in these scripts that I've got in this, I almost couldn't believe how easy it was to get somebody to a point of saying, yes, let's jump into a song. Like, what's next? That's the dream thing. It's like, okay, cool. Sounds good. Where do we start? That's what you want to hear people saying. And I couldn't believe that scripts were actually getting to that position. It took a bit of time to get there. There will be music producers that I will work with in the future through these videos, through this course that I'm going to create. And, well, it's already live for us to have the conversations, and the pages are already live. So, but through this course, the people that go and read these scripts, for some people it won't work to begin with, and there'll be very obvious reasons, I believe, as to why. It could be tone of voice, it could be your confidence behind your product. If you don't have a lot of things aligned, and you're kind of just getting on the phone to like make a sale, make some money, and just like screw over artists in that sense because you're thinking about yourself and not them, we'll be able to figure it out. And technology allows us to record calls and stuff as well, so we can actually go through calls together. I found that incredibly helpful with one of my mentors. Training on BNPL, buy now, pay later. Great model in terms of being able to charge more but making it less scary for artists. Got a few models that work really, really great. In fact, that Gemma, she's on like an annual model with us. So I have like an income every single month from her. And it's so good, especially when you get a few people lined up on the same kind of model. Again, it starts to feed into like being able to predict your income, being able to predict your workflow. Sorry, not your workflow. Well, yeah, your workflow as well, but like build your life, man. Build the life you want to live. Like you can't do that without knowing what cash you've got coming in. More Notion templates for the actual specific projects, like when you're actually working with the artists. This is actually probably one of the most important things, like communication. I'm going to do a video about this because I think communication, I asked on my Instagram the other day, I was like, what is the biggest thing that you guys as artists find frustrating with your producers? Like by far, it was communication. So I've got some really, I think, quite fun ways to, and I say fun because it doesn't feel like a ball ache. It doesn't feel really frustrating and annoying to be able to, speak directly with artists, because who wants to just be caught up in admin all the time? Not me. Music production workshops. Don't need to say anything about this. There's just something I really want to do with everybody that's in the community. Share some songs, enjoy listening to some music. I think it will inspire everybody, and I think some of the best things I've learned, to be honest, have been through like Masterclass, if you've been on that website, or Mix with the Masters, or just getting feedback from other music producers on my stuff. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about that before. So that's more like what's going to be in the course rather than like the things that I work on that got me to the point where I was earning six figures from music production. Same with group feedback, expert Q&A. Okay, so this is all just like specifically what's included in the course. And if you click on the link in my description, there is a video where I go through this almost like exactly what you're going to get in the course. So I've kind of lent into that probably a little bit too hard in this video, but hopefully you're finding this interesting in terms of just like opening your mind to areas where you might not be paying attention, or areas where you're maybe really stuck and you want some help. And also, I guess, for you guys just to see like how much out of all this, looks like a face, how much out of all this I think it takes to get to that 6-figure production business, like a year. So is that kind of it? Do I want to give you the story now? No, but I will show you some of the music production stuff, because this is what it really opened up. Like me paying so much attention to all of these things, and there's more than this. This is just like the initial things I had listed as like, if you do all of these things, you can get to the 1,200 easily a month. Per song with artists. Because it unlocked this for me. This is what it unlocked for me, was buying this awesome bus, converting it to a point where I could be in Austria. This is the Austrian Alps. This is in the Netherlands, in the tulip fields. This is Switzerland. My pool in Croatia. Man, that was a good time. Had a crazy storm when we were there as well. Like, I actually thought the glass in the roof was going to come through, and I have solar panels across the top of the bus here. The solar panels fed the studio, by the way, so all the music was made from the power of the sun, which was insanely cool. And it was just this little production studio, and I had artists around. They could sleep. We had like 2 separate rooms in there. I don't think I've got a picture of the room at the back. Bathroom, kitchen. It was super sick. It was super awesome. I'm surprised I didn't put any photos actually in this of the rest of the space, but you get the vibe. You get the idea. So I guess that leads us to this. I really want to go into like more details on the specifics, but I believe as music producers have a duty, I guess, to create a service that artists are happy to explore who they are, the songs they want to create, the lyrics they want to, the stories they want to tell, the lyrics they want to use to tell those stories. Like this, it all comes from a really safe space. And the safer you make a space, the better you are at your service, at creating who you want to be, like all of those things. The better you are at doing that, the more money you'll be able to charge, the more of a career you'll be able to have. And I hope this video just opens your eyes up to, like, if you can just focus on those things, which mostly can be automated now in this world, really you can just have an incredible career producing music. And for me, it was a dream. I never thought I'd actually be just producing music. I thought I'd always have to be like gigging, doing weddings, and that's where I started off. I did 8 years as a session musician, performing, and I didn't really enjoy it. It took me a long time to like get to the realization and accept that it wasn't really something I wanted to do. I wanted to be more behind the scenes, songwriting, producing, and to actually be here now, like consistently. I'm not making this course just after and building this community just after like 6 months of doing well and being like, oh, I just know what I'm doing. Like, this has been years of producing, but like 5 years of doing this consistently and properly. First year learning how to do it. I'm really committing to that, learning a lot, making a lot of errors. And by this stage, I was already working with agencies and things. But to actually go out and create my own thing, and in 4 years of just constant 6 figures for the last 4 years is just pretty nuts. When you actually think about it, I've just bought some Airbnbs, some actual like buildings. I bought more buses, by the way. Don't know if you know that story, but I bought an American school bus from New York, shipped it all the way to the UK, and turned those into insane Airbnbs. Like, we were on TV channels, like being filmed, like building this thing. The journeys have been insane, and it all comes to music production. So that's it. So I said I was gonna give an offer. So to build this, I want to, as I said, get the value of this to the price of a song. That's basically what I'm working up towards. You're seeing the first video of me like building up to that. I don't know how long it's going to take to build up to that, but I know the way I'm going to get there is giving the most value. So if you can apply now, see if you qualify. Like, we'll get on the phone and like, let's talk about your music production career so far. See which artists you've worked with, the kind of music you're creating, like where are you stuck, what challenges are you facing, what are your goals. I want to figure out a journey with you on that call. Like, we'll figure out what you need to do to get from A to B to C to D to E and as far as you want to go. I promise I will do that with you on a call. At the end of that call, I will give you 25% of the price of getting you to the price of a song. Does that make any sense? I should probably reword that again. I'm gonna offer you an annual, like the whole year, for 25% of what I want to charge for this course. That's a better way to say it. Worst case, you go away with a journey and strategy. Best case, you feel like you trust like what I say and what I show you on that call is going to be enough for you to commit and join the community and like help me build this thing. By help me build this thing, I mean like I want to know what you find, what you struggle the most with, what you find the most valuable in the way I deliver things. At the end of the day, I've recorded a whole bunch of videos, but there's no reason why I can't just re-record those videos if everyone wants something different. So that's the reality. So I'm going to stop this now. If you hit the link in the below this video, and if you really want to build a career in music production with like good quality, serious artists, get some consistency into your music production journey, then yeah, hit that link. The video on that page is very similar to this video, so you can watch it again if you want something a little bit more condensed and a bit quicker to run through. But if you just hit apply now, you'll see my calendar and you can just book a call in with me and we'll just build that journey out. And the first 5 people, I'll give you the offer. But if you're watching this and the 5 places already gone, still book a call, because I promise you on that call we'll build the journey. That we'll do regardless from anyone that comes from this video. So yeah, that's it. New channel, new launch, new everything. See you on the other side, I guess. Any videos that are popping up on the screen right now are probably from my old life. So if you want to have a little bit of if you want to check out a little bit of that wild journey on the road in the bus, that's probably what it's showing you right now. I've got some music production breakdowns as well, so maybe you'll enjoy some of those. But yeah, let's get your head in the game. Let's start making some money, and I want to see you build the life you want to live. I've always wanted to make a course that's about building the life you want to live. So see you on the next one.